It's me again, everyone. Ryan the Wine Guy, bringing you tonight a Spanish wine from the Rioja region. Let me just move that all the way down so we can see the wine during the whole video. It is Hacienda Lopez De Haro. Or is it De Haro? De Hacienda de Haro. Hacienda Lopez de Haro. I don't know. Spanish, Italian, French. It's difficult for me sometimes how they pronounce it. I forgot how the Spanish do it. So Lopez de Haro. Well, you see how it's spelled. If you speak Spanish, please forgive me for my ignorance and not knowing how to pronounce this correctly. But it's a Crianza 2013 from the Rioja region of Spain. My favorite importer, Monsieur Teuton. Oh my God, I love Monsieur Teuton. I cannot. You all know how much I love it because I've said how much I love it so much. Situated on a picturesque hillside of the historic village of San Vicente de la Sonserra. I'll try to put that in the description. The winery Bodega Classica rises above a veritable sea of vineyards. Veritable sea of vineyards. I'm pronouncing that wrong too. Flanked by the winding course of the river Ebro and the slopes of the mountain range of the Sierra de Calano. I may just freaking write this whole description in the freaking description for you all. 90% Tempranillo, 7% Grenache, which is the same thing as Grenache. It's pronounced Grenache in France, Grenache in Spain, and everywhere else says their own little thing. 3% Graciano. I've never heard of that wine, Graciano. It's a new one for me. Selection of old vines. So that means the wine, the vines are not young. The vines are old. They have age on them. They're reused. So old vines are always good. Natural vindication with 18-month aging in French and American oak. Doesn't say what percent French, what percent American, but it is 18 months. You've all seen previous episodes of Crianza versus Reserva and Ground Reserva, so I'm not going to get into that now. You can always just Google it if you want. 13.5% alcohol, and it's anywhere from $10 to $15. Maybe even less. Could even be as low as 8 if you're lucky to get on sale. Could be as high as 15. It really depends on where you live and where you buy from. If you pay more than 15 for it, you're probably getting ripped off, or you might be living in a state that has high alcohol rates. So, and if you're watching this overseas, I don't even want to compare it to the euros, the pounds, whatever the hell you're paying for. I don't know. I don't have time for that shit. Bodega Classica, Hacienda Lopez De Haro. It is a little dark in the glass. I can see through it, so it's not totally dark. I can make definitely make out my hand. It's not dark, but it's definitely not light. It's not like pale light like some other ones. Definitely a nice ruby red core to it. Like I said, it's not opaque, but it's not. It is thin, but it's not terribly thin. I said I can make out my hand. Actually, I can make out my hand through it, but it's not like some Pinot Noirs. So it's like semi between the two, light and very dark. But definitely a lot of ruby going on here. Got a little bit of cork in there. Should be good. Whew, wow. It's a big nose. Whew. Got a nice little bit of smokiness going on. A bit of tobacco. A bit of spice. From that smokiness. Also probably from the oak. 18 months. There's also some nice cherry. Some nice plum. Maybe some vanilla from the oak. I mean, he definitely has a nice, really good woodsy, spicy smell, along with those red fruits, a little bit of dark fruit in there. Tobacco, like a cigar tobacco box. Just, oh my gosh, it just, whew. I mean, it's a good smell. Like I'm saying, it's not, when I go, whew, I'm not saying like, oh man, this is bad, but it definitely has a smell to it, and it has like a sort of really robust smell on it. Yeah, oof, man, man. If I was rating this wine just based off the smell, would get a perfect 5 out of 5. But let's go ahead and taste and see what it does. Shout out to Hillbilly Wine 101. I'm pretty positive that's your name. I hope, because I just said it. But if it's not, then it's Hillbilly something. But I'm pretty sure it's Hillbilly Wine 101. A while ago, they were doing their own little video about corked wine, which is wine that has pretty much gone bad, past its prime, or is just really at its prime, and you need to drink it now. And they actually had this wine, the Hacienda Lopez De Haro. I'm not sure if it was the Crianza or maybe one of the Reservas or Grand Reserve. It might have been the Crianza, but it was definitely this brand. And it was a 2010. And this is 2013, so a few years later. And they actually seem to correspond with them through the chat on YouTube, and it seemed like this actually ended up being pretty well for them. Their 2010 being 7 years. This is a 13, and it's 4 years. So definitely does have some age-worthy on it. I forgot to mention what was on the palate. I'm still tasting it, but I'll do another taste. Wow. Very, 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 definitely, definitely has some flavor on this. Definitely has some character. Good cherries, good plum. Other sort of like nice, juicy red fruits. Definitely getting this little bit of spice on it. A little heat. I don't know. I even want to go out and say that there's maybe even a little bit of maple sort of flavoring. Some sort of maple. Definitely get that heat in there. So like cigar tobacco box. Maybe a little bit of spices going down. Something you might expect maybe from like maybe a Zin or even a wine that's been aged in bourbon barrels. I know that's a thing these days, but I mean this definitely has not been aged in bourbon barrels, and I wouldn't go as far as to like say it totally resembles that, but definitely has a heat characteristic that bourbon barrels would. So maybe it's the 18 months being aged in oak really standing out on that rich, that rich sort of like heat core. I'm even kind of getting a little bit of that sort of maybe like a vanilla or dark chocolate, maybe like a light mocha heat taste in here. Very, very well played. Gosh, I think these past 3 or 4 wines in a row have been exactly 4.5, and I see no reason to give us anything less. Long finish, great taste, great heat, but it's not like a total burn going down. It definitely does have that heat, that spice, that oak, but also has those nice berries that I mentioned, that cherry, that plum, just nice and plump, just nice juicy fruitness in it too, without it being too fruity, but without it being overly dry. And just perfect marriage is wine from Spain. And 2013, and if their 2010 was good, and it's 70 years later now, and this is only 2013, I can only imagine what this might be like in 2020. So that's why I give it a 4 out of 5. Because I think a couple of years, it could hit its prime and be a perfect 5 out of 5. So, as you all know, my favorite phrase, ideally, this is a perfect score, but lay it down for a couple of years. See what it does, my friends. I'm Ryan, a wine guy. I'll see you later this weekend. Cheers.